So anytime I'm doing a story about a college, the very first thing I like to look up is how much it costs to go there. Today, we are looking at Skidmore College. And Skidmore College, like so many other colleges out there, like you really have to actually search for the tuition information. First, they make you go through this stuff that says, oh, we're going to meet 100% of your demonstrated need. We give out all this financial aid. You've got nothing to worry about. They go through a cost calculator. And then you finally get to the price of attendance, which in Skidmore's cases is up near $80,000. And that's $58,000 alone for tuition and fees, not to mention the $9,000 of room fees and another $6,000 worth of board fees, and then other expenses thrown in there. That's quite a bit of money. Now, the other thing I want to talk about in relation to Skidmore College is they actually have a student bill of rights. And right up near the top, number 1, rights of citizenship. As members of the Skidmore community, students enjoy freedom of speech, peaceful assembly, the press, of religion, and the right to petition, limited only by protection of property, safety, and mutual respect. We're going to come to that one in a second. Students' personal mail or electronic mail cannot be opened or read by others without their express permission. Students expected to be treated fairly and with respect by all members of the Skidmore community. Except if you're a libertarian. And libertarians are trending on Twitter today, so it's an interesting time to be libertarians. If libertarians are not taking advantage of this moment, they will really cement my belief that there is no use of the Libertarian Party, except maybe the Mises Caucus. That's a whole other thing. But apparently, Skidmore College doesn't like libertarians all that much because one student is trying to form a libertarian club and has just been slapped down by the Student Government Association, who says they can't form their libertarian club because hate speech. This is from the Albany Times-Union. Skidmore student: cancel culture organized against us. Young Americans for Liberty can't form on campus. A Skidmore College student who wanted to bring a libertarian-leaning group to campus says she was the victim of a threatening smear campaign that resulted in her Young Americans for Liberty chapter being blocked from forming. Hannah Davis and 2 other students spearheaded the effort to establish a chapter affiliated with the national group, of which the board is made up of 2 people who once worked on the presidential campaign of Congressman Ron Paul. Paul believed in strict adherence to the Constitution and that there should be little government other than national defense and the criminal justice system. But after more than 100 negative comments on their Instagram account, Y'all Skidmore, and a Change.org petition, with more than 1,700 signatures, which accuse them of being racist and homophobic, which is what they accuse everyone of all the time, the Student Government Association told Davis that the chapter cannot establish there over concerns of hate speech and making students on campus feel unsafe. Libertarians who are most often known for just wanting to smoke weed and have, I guess, lots of guns and to be left the F alone in the middle of the woods. Hate speech. Yeah, that's definitely the first thing I think of when I think of libertarians is hate speech. Davis says the determination was biased. A cancel culture campaign was organized against us, for which they coined as holding students accountable for their actions. And that's where they get away with it. When it says that in this rights of citizenship thing, that this is based on mutual respect and students are expected to be treated fairly and with respect to all members of the Skidmore community, except if you are on the wrong side of the political aisle. And then you get treated with no respect whatsoever. And instead you get told that the reason that you can't have your little club on campus is hate speech. A cancel campaign was organized against us, for which they coined as holding students accountable for their actions. Y'all at Skidmore was not participated in any hateful behavior that they want us to take accountability for. So listen, they're basing this on, if you look at actually the petition that they've got, this is their Change.org petition, which now has 1,800 signatures, Stop Skidmore College from approving the Young Americans for Liberty Club. They're citing things that happened at other colleges. So this is not about holding individuals accountable for their behavior. This is about holding individuals accountable for the behavior of other people in other states that they've probably never even met before. They've got, in 2018, American University hosted an event titled, No, Don't Believe All Women. And they've got one for the University of Oregon, they've got one for UCLA, they've got one for UC Santa Barbara. Do they have any from actual Skidmore? Apparently not, and apparently that doesn't matter anymore, because you right now are responsible for someone in the same political party as you that you've never even met before? Does that mean that all Democrats are held accountable to what Antifa's doing? No. No, of course not, because Antifa is just an idea. Don't you know? The idea of collectivized guilt resulted in members of our chapter being forced to leave due to harassment. I have been subjected to endless harassment, false accusations, and threats of violence, in which Skidmore has been slow in addressing properly. Davis said that every chapter has its own goals, with hers being reducing polarization, promoting free speech, and dissembling groupthink. However, their website says the group is fighting back against progressive politicians like U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whom it says it wants to bring back days of despots and dictators with powerful central government. Y'all recruits its students to campaign for candidates to promote capitalism and the Constitution and individual liberties, illustrated by the image of a man holding up a rifle. The anti-Y'all petition, whose author is only identified as AC, argued that it's a springboard for hate speech and bigotry disguised as political discourse. It went on to say Skidmore has become increasingly hostile to BIPOC and marginalized students. It is no coincidence that this club is being proposed following months of bold activism by students of color. Well, we can't possibly say no to the students of color. And not, of course, all students of color, but just the very small minority of students of color who are using their race to try to guilt people into doing what they want them to do, because this is never about equality. It's always about power. But here's my suggestion. I'm just going to throw this out there as an idea. Why do they need an approved club to meet at school? I mean, I'm sure there's something in terms of like having club money or being able to bring speakers onto campus and you know, getting special privileges that align with being a club. But really, why, like, wouldn't it be better if this formed as like a little rogue underground thing that was thwarting the, this is literally, dude, what, like, why the Libertarians need the approval of the student government, which has no authority in the real world. I'm sorry to burst the bubble of all you student government. I don't even know, like you participated in student governments throughout your college or even high school careers, if some of you are younger. Like, student governments don't have authority in the real world. No one cares. So why are the Libertarians listening to them? Form your club, man. Form your club. Make it a little underground thing. It'll be like a speakeasy. And you know what? It's going to make it even more enticing for people on campus if it's like a speakeasy secret society to avoid the overreach of the student government. I mean, this is an opportunity if there ever was one. And frankly, Hannah should take advantage of this opportunity to actually attract more libertarians to her cause, not less. I mean, come on. Not like, you can always look at things from different perspectives, and even more than two perspectives, quite frankly. But if we want to look at things from the best possible outcome and the worst possible outcome is like, oh my God, the student government said we can't form a club, our life is over. Of course, that's not true. You could also make the choice to look at this situation from the best possible outcome. Like, this happened for a reason. This is going to make our club seem even more enticing because it's illicit. It's like today's counterculture is being on the political right. Mark my words. The Instagram posts, of which there are only 3, generated comments such as "You suck. You all should be barred from colleges and universities. Absolute trash. And this organization is dangerous. This organization is threatening. This organization has no place on our campus." Huh, Skidmore. It seems to me as though the students petitioning to not have this club on campus are breaking this student handbook rules, the student code of conduct, if you will, which say that students are expected to be treated fairly and with respect by all members of the Skidmore community. Huh. it seems that the student government might be the ones that are not treating the students with respect, which is the entire reason there needs to be a libertarian club in the first place. Just do what you want. I know there's probably university resources you get from being an official club, and I get it, and you know what? Go meet with the president of the university. Maybe he's a relatively new president, so maybe he won't want to get fired from his job just yet, and he'll be more reasonable about this whole thing than the student government is. But this shows exactly why a club like this is necessary. Because of government overreach, whether that be federal government, state government, or student government. You just got your proof of concept for why a libertarian club needs to exist at Skidmore College. Take it as a blessing, form a little underground club. It's going to be a lot more fun anyway. It's going to be like super secret spies, or like whatever. Like, make it fun. Do what you want. You don't need their permission. When these kids graduate and they're no longer in the student government and they're having a hard time even finding a job as a barista at Starbucks, they're going to know how little power they have. All right? In the meantime, do what you want to do. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. And if someone says no, just figure out another way to do it. That's the way of the world. Man. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing to this channel. I do content every single day of the week, mostly around critical race theory, cancel culture, crazy things going on in our society in general, because I need an outlet to bitch and complain. If you enjoy what I'm doing, I hope you'll consider subscribing, giving it a thumbs up, double checking, making sure you're still subscribed if you think you're subscribed already. I would also appreciate it if you would connect with me off of this cursed platform of YouTube. If you're not watching this video on YouTube right now, congratulations, you've already made it. But if you are watching this video on YouTube, please consider joining my locals community. You'll get all of my videos ad-free. It is completely free to join my locals. You only pay if you want to support my work or if you want extra perks that come with that, but it is completely free to join. You can also find me on Rockfin. You can find me on Odyssey. You can find me on all sorts of different alternate platforms that are not the cursed YouTube. That's all I have for right now. I'll see you soon.